Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom, this beautiful path where we get to set ourselves free, where we get to release and let go of that which no longer serves, where we get to lean into each and every single moment, realizing that it is a new moment, that nothing that has ever happened, none of the choices that we have made, that we did not make, can hold us, will hold us, is holding us captive or hijacked in any kind of way, but that we are free. Free to begin again, free to soar, free to shine, free to glow, free to forever allow for greater and grander expressions of who and what we are to emerge. Free to be in that ever-expanding peace and love and joy and harmony and wholeness and beauty and all of that. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and as always, I'm deeply grateful and honored that you're choosing to join me, that you're choosing to tune into this space, into this field of freedom, where we get to give ourselves permission to live a life beyond anything we've ever imagined, where we give ourselves permission to transform our lives beyond anything that we've ever imagined. So today is New Year's Day. So it's the first day of 2024. And as we're moving into the new year, a powerful question that we are wise, not only when we're moving into the new year, obviously, but as this is the first day of the new year, this is a very powerful question that we're wise to ask. What is it that we wish to experience in the year of 2024? Or what is it that we wish to experience this week or this month or this day or this hour in this moment? And then because this is the topic, and then the follow-up statement or invitation is for us to be that. So the topic is, what is it that we wish to experience in 2024? And let's be that. Because we need to realize that if we wish to experience peace, if we wish to experience joy, if we wish to experience love and harmony and wholeness and beauty and abundance, if we want to experience a sense of safety and security, none of these will come to us from the world. None of it will come flying through thin air and just land in our laps. But we need to be it. Everything emerges out of consciousness. Everything begins in consciousness. Consciousness always precedes form. That's the fundamental principle of the sacred laws of the divine order that is all there is. So we need to be whatever it is that we wish to experience. We need to look for it. We need to be able to articulate it. We need to be able to describe it. We need to be able to turn our attention more toward that, toward what we wish to experience, than what we don't wish to experience. And only when we are able to be that, only when we're looking for it more. Another way of describing these principles, these manifestational principles, is that whatever we turn our attention to the most, whatever we are looking for the most, whatever we are talking about the most, whatever we are thinking about the most, whatever we are feeling the most, the substance and essence of that must and will come into our experience. So as we're moving into the new year, and I know that the year 2023 was quite challenging for a lot of us humans. A lot of things, they're still happening, but a lot of things happened in 2023, in the last year. A lot of stuff has come to the surface for us to be aware of. So there's been changes, there's been wars, there's been financial turbulence, there's been environmental turbulence, there's been turbulence on so many levels. And I get that. I'm not denying that. And yet, whatever happened in 2023, moving into the new year, we need to begin to articulate what it is that we wish to experience. Because even in the midst of all the turmoil, we can still be in peace. Even in the midst of financial turbulence, we can still experience abundance. We can still experience peace. We can still experience the level of harmony. It may seem far-fetched. It may seem as an impossibility, but the only reason that the peace and the harmony and wholeness are eluding us is because we believe that it is impossible. It's because we believe that we need to be hijacked, that we need to give whatever external conditions and circumstances permission or power to make us think and feel anything. So as we're moving into the new year, by catching an intention, a vision as to what it is that we wish to experience. And we're always wise when we are talking about visions, when we are speaking about intentions, we're always wise to not so much articulate a specific outcome or an end result, but more bespeak and more articulate and describe the qualities that we wish to experience. Like the peace, like love, like joy, like harmony, like abundance. So we articulate the qualities, and then we give the sacred laws. We give spirit this loving presence that is all there is, that is benevolent, that is always for itself, that is always expressing itself beautifully and perfectly. We give it permission to guide and lead and move us into that quality. We give it permission to move people and places and things around, events around, for the quality that we have not locked onto, the quality that we have described as what we wish to experience. As we have described it, we give spirit permission to guide and lead and move us there in the direction of it. Because we don't know. And this is something that many of us, we believe that when setting goals and dreams and visions, that we need to be very detailed about what needs to happen. But the thing is that if we dictate what needs to happen for us to be in peace, not only are we putting the cart before the horse, as the expression goes, but we are limiting spirit. We are putting a lid on the ingenuity and the creativity, on the infinite possibilities that spirit is, that the loving presence is. We're all moving and living and having our beingness in a field of infinite possibilities, where everything is possible. Where everything is possible. Everything is possible in God. And if we don't believe that, all we need to do is to we can look into nature. We can look at our own bodies and the myriad of functions and the complexities in our minds and in our brains and in the bodily functions. I mean, just the fact that we have eyes to see, not only we, but most living beings on this planet, most animate beings, most animal beings on this planet, we have eyes to see with. That's like a miracle in and of itself. We have ears to hear with. We have taste buds. We have senses. We have all these things that we take for granted. The divine intelligence. And if we had lived on a planet where there were no eyes, seeing in the way that we see, just as many of us cannot even begin to imagine perhaps how some alien species, how they are operating, how they are moving through the world, perhaps not speaking, not talking at all, perhaps not seeing in the way that we see. So us limiting, us dictating what needs to happen and what it needs to look like and when it needs to happen, that's just us putting a lid on spirit. That's just us confining spirit to to what our imagination can hold. But our imagination is always confined to our previous experiences. It's always limited to our previous experiences. And so setting ourselves free by not dictating what needs to happen, setting ourselves free by going more for qualities than particular outcomes, that allows spirit to go beyond, as the saying goes, that God begins where our imagination ends. So that's when the magic begins to happen, when things beyond our imagination begin to manifest themselves, when experiences beyond anything that we've ever imagined begin to flow into our lives. That's where the real magic begins. But as we are setting intentions, as we're catching intentions, as we're catching visions for this new year, having them be more about qualities than particular outcomes is very wise. It serves us very, very well. But coming back to the topic for this particular message, that we need to begin by articulating what it is that we wish to experience. And this needs to be something that is so big. This needs to be something that is right on the edge, right on the verge of us believing that it is possible. So we need to have that big, and it is sometimes referred to as an impossible dream, to really, really catch something that is so impossible, that borders on impossibility, and allowing it, not making it happen, as is a common mistake with us humans, that we set out to make something happen. We believe that it is up to us to make our dreams come true. It is up to us to make our visions manifest themselves. And yes, absolutely, we do need to be conscious participants in the whole creation. We need to be the ones moving in the direction, taking action, taking steps, moving us in the direction of the good that we wish to experience. But it is not up to us to make it happen any more than it is up to, let's say, a tomato seed to make the tomato plant happen, or the acorn to make the oak tree happen, or the apple seed to make the apple tree happen. But there's a space of emergence. There's a feel of emergence. And every single one of our dreams, every single one of our intentions, every single one of our visions, they are like spiritual seeds planted within our consciousness. We do not come up with these. We catch these. We become aware of what has been planted within our consciousness. And as we become aware of the good that we wish to experience, the good that we wish to see manifested, it is Spirit, the cosmic gardener, that is omniscient, that is fully present in every space and place, that is omnipotent, omnipresent. It is it who has planted these visions, dreams, goals, intentions within us. And it's this loving presence, deepest desire and highest intent to see these realized. So within every single one of our intentions and dreams is already the full potential and everything needed for it to come into manifestation. So what is it that we wish to experience in 2024? Not what we don't want to experience, but what is it that we do wish to experience? If we keep turning our attention toward what we don't wish to experience, the only thing we're doing is sustaining, magnifying, amplifying that very experience. It doesn't matter how turbulent it is around us. It doesn't matter how turbulent it is within us. We need to cultivate the discipline to begin to articulate and describe more what it is that we wish to experience. So what is it that we wish to experience in this new year, in this new moment? And then as the second statement of the topic goes, let's be it. which simply means that we need to choose it. If we wish to experience greater health now than we have before, we need to choose it. We need to choose to turn our attention toward it. We need to acknowledge the health that is already here. We need to give thanks for the health that is here. We need to move into the space of knowing that it's already done, that it's already happened in the infinite mind, and that it is happening now. It is unfolding now. So we need to be it. Us sitting around waiting for it to come into our experience, that's not how it works. We'll be sitting around waiting forever. We need to be it first. Be the change we wish to see. And as these principles of transformation remind us, first of all, that if we want anything to change in our lives, we need to change. That's the first principle. The second principle is that unless we change, unless we release and let go of the old thought forms, the judgments, the opinions, the stories, the beliefs that may have held us hostage, that we may have been hijacked by for so many years, unless we begin to release and let them go, unless we up-level them, begin to make new choices, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Our experience is going to stay the same forever. The third principle states that when we begin to change, the moment we begin to make a new choice, a higher choice, a choice that is more in alignment with what we wish to experience than what we don't wish to experience, in that moment, everything begins to change. Everything begins to change. So the invitation for us today is to begin to articulate and describe what it is that we wish to experience. What quality do we wish to experience in this new year, this brand new year, this magnificent year? And my forecast, if I may be as bold as that, is that this year is going to be the best year ever. The best year ever. And I base that on the realization that God is always moving forward, that God is always progressing, that God is always moving into expansion. And as we give God permission to, we are always being moved forward. We are always being moved into progression. We are always being moved into expansion. And whenever expansion occurs, improvement. I don't like that word really, but let's go with it anyway. Whenever expansion occurs, improvement occurs, because God is always for itself. Everything is always working for the highest good. And so whenever we release and let go of something, whenever we allow our consciousness to expand, whenever we allow our vibration to be raised, that is for the highest good, for our own personal lives and for all of creation. So that's my prediction for this new year, that it is going to be the best year ever. Our job, obviously, is to midwife that, not to sit around and wait for it to happen, not wait for conditions and circumstances to line themselves up so that we may experience the good that we wish to experience, but for us to choose it, for us to build the spiritual muscles strong enough to be able to choose it even in the midst of this, to be able to choose the feeling tone that all is well, even in the midst of this. And when we do, whenever we raise our vibration, the whole universe rises up to meet us there. So when we know that all is well, when we do the inner work necessary to come into that feeling tone, the whole universe is going to correspond to that. So the invitation, once again, is for us to articulate and describe what it is that we wish to experience. And then the questions, one question is, how can I be that? How can I be the peace that I wish to experience? How can I be the joy that I wish to experience? What choice can I make in this now moment that is in alignment with these? And let these questions be our guiding lights as we move forward into expansion, into progression, into soaring and shining and glowing in ways beyond our imaginations. Thank you so much for tuning in, for participating, for joining me. Until we meet again, I bless our days, and I bless our ways. Much love, many blessings.